All right, ladies and gentlemen. The sun is shining. It's nice and warm outside with a delightful cool breeze. The time is 12 p.m. in the afternoon, and it's time for more One Piece. So let's go ahead and get the formalities out of the way, shall we? Yo, peoples! Kyushu92 here, and welcome back to yet another live reading of One Piece. Today, we are going to be going through volume 29 of the series titled Oratorio. So, let's get started with today's chapters, and it's a thick one too, so I imagine we're going to have a lot of volumes to go through. I'm double checking to see if there's any security tabs in here. I'm trying to feel for it in the pages, but I'm not seeing it thus far. I could be wrong, but let's go ahead and get started. The story of One Piece. Monkey D. Luffy started out as just a kid with a dream to become the greatest pirate in history. Stirred by the tales of pirate red-haired Shanks, Luffy vowed to become a pirate himself. That was before the enchanted devil fruit gave Luffy the power to stretch like rubber, at the cost of being unable to swim, a serious handicap for an aspiring sea dog. Undeterred, Luffy set out to sea and recruited some crewmates: Master Swordsman Zoro, treasure hunting thief Nami, lying sharpshooter Usopp, the high-kicking chef Sanji, Chopper, the walkin' talkin' reindeer doctor, and the mysterious archaeologist Robin. Now, what's odd is that they don't call Robin the mysterious archaeologist in the previous volume. They called her something different. They stopped calling her something different in the last volume, but this one they went right back to calling her the mysterious archaeologist. The crew's next destination is Skypiea, an island in the clouds ruled over by the powerful kami Eneru. As soon as they arrive, they get arrested for trespassing and are put on trial. After which Nami and half the crew are led away to be sacrificed. While the gang faces some fearful challenges put up by the locals, Nami makes an amazing discovery. Upper Yard, the only place among the sky clouds made of soil, is actually the other half of Jaya, the island back on the ground. Which means it's also the location of the fabled city of gold, El Dorado. We have 11 chapters a day. You have more work to do? Hey, it's part of the job. Having freed themselves, the crew begins the search for treasure, but they soon find themselves caught in a battle between Eneru's army and the Shandian natives fighting to reclaim the island. Eneru predicts in 3 hours only 5 people will remain alive. What will happen in his survival game? So, as Kohagen said, we have 11 chapters. We start with chapter 265, and we'll be going all the way to chapters 275. So yeah, we got a heaping helping of chapters today. And then later today, after I have some lunch and some food, we're going to be going through and testing out the recently released Lies of P demo on PS5. So it's going to be an interesting and fun day. So let's begin. Chapter 265, Pirate Robin versus Heavenly Warrior Commander Yama. And we cut to Nami, who's riding on a waiver. And apparently it's someone going, "Wow, Nami, you're amazing."
Here, I am officially returning this to you.
Thanks, I love it. It's a level faster.
Yes, it surprised me too.
Oh wait, this is Nami. She was going out ahead. Wow, who is saying this though? It's not Sanji and Usopp though. Wow, Nami, you're amazing. But yeah, she's using her waiver to ride around the Mary because Pagaya and Kaunis and Isa have appeared.
It's a level faster.
Yes, it surprised me too. The jet dial became extinct some centuries ago. I didn't expect to see one loaded on your waiver.
Well, what should we do now? I was going to...
Oh, well, what should we do now? I was going to take everyone to the outskirts of Skypiea.
Let's take the ship to the coast, at least, like I promised. The crew must be safe now. The 4 of them are unbeatable when they're together.
There aren't any groups of 4 on this island.
And this is Isa saying this.
What? 2's the most. If there were a group of 4, I'd know. Mantra. The power they say the kami and his vassals have.
I was born with it. That's why I'm scared. I'm scared the voices will disappear. You don't know what it's like.
You crying again?
I'm not crying, jerk!
And this is Isa to Nami, because Nami is like indifferent to her cries. Then Kana speaks up.
Isa's waver broke down. We were passing by and saw her being attacked by a skyfish.
What were you up to? What were you up to? I don't know, but I can't just sit here. Rocky, everyone.
And then Nami just looks at her.
I hope they're
all okay.
And then it cuts to Luffy, who fell underground after he was facing off against Wiper. And he's in this underground ruin. Whew! Now what? My backpack's outside, and the trees are rotting, so there's no fruit. I was looking forward to breakfast. Now I'm lost in a weird cave with no sign of a way out. Wonder if everyone's at El Dorado now. Must be pretty. I bet it's covered in gold. They say stew made from pure gold is real tasty. Where did you hear that? Who told you that? Shanks! Don't fill his head with nonsense. Jaw! Stop following me! Jaw? Look, I ate my lunch. There's nothing left. I don't have any more. Even if I did, I wouldn't give it to you. Jaw! Don't you get it? Get lost! And we're with Zoro, with one of the giant south birds that Chopper talked about. You've got a weird walk. Why is your neck like that? You want to fight me? Eh? Jaw? And then we cut to Eneru. We cut to Eneru and we see the words he said previously. In 3 hours' time, of the original 81, 5 will be left standing. And then we get narration. Only an hour remains before the time stated in Kami Eneru's prophecy. There are currently 25 survivors. And then we cut to one of the Shandian warriors who sees Eneru walking. Kami Eneru! That's impossible! Why is he here? I'm gonna kill him! And this Shandian warrior thinks to himself, but Eneru is directly behind him. Like, instantly behind him. And Eneru just looks in a different direction while this dude goes, what? And Eneru doesn't say anything. But then we get a loud bzzz sound, like a loud shock sound of electricity. And then the narration says, 24 remain. So Eneru just basically killed this guy instantly. Bah! And then we cut back to Yama versus Robin. How far do you plan to run? And then Robin is running away, and Yama grits his teeth, and he slams one of the ruins and causes it to capsize and just topple in on itself. Is this where you stop running?
Yes, it's no use.
No use?
Even if you apologize, I won't forgive you.
You won't forgive me? How brave. You're quite protective of these ruins. It's not like they belong to the likes of you.
That's true. Historical sites belong to no one. I'd like to end our talk here.
Well, not to worry. Soon you won't be able to talk even if you wanted to. Because you'll be dead after I crush you! Mountain drop! And then it cuts to Yama, who somersaults cartwheels into the air as he launches towards Robin.
You just charge around like a bull. It's time you felt the burden of the history you destroyed. Up here, one can be as destructive as one likes. Triente fleur! And then a whole flood of hands just extends outwards towards Robin.
What?
And these hands grab Yama by the feet, and he's just left airborne and swinging in the air. Hang! As Robin swings Yama full force, face first, into a tree. And then it cuts to Robin and her arms, as it shows her arms are straining to hold up Yama. He's so heavy. And then Yama is momentarily, the whites of his eyes are showing, but then he comes to and goes, and then all of a sudden, Yama starts flipping and he starts cartwheeling.
Yeah! Bah! 10-fold axe! Mountain axe!
And then he tries to launch towards Robin, but Robin has multiple arms grab him as he puts out. Because here's the one thing I didn't understand: how is he doing this mountain axe? But it turns out that he's been doing all these cuts because he's using this long bandolier of dials that he holds out in front of him. That's how he took down Gembo, and that's how he'd been using his move against other members of the Shandian warriors earlier. I didn't pick up on it, but now that I have and I see it, and because he says the dials, I understand instantly what that is and how everything connects together. It all comes together for me.
Mountain axe!
And then Robin causes arms to cover his eyes and also mess with his belt that he has dials on.
My eyes! Oh no! The dials are reversed!
And it cuts to Yama flying face first into a tree, but the dials are faced in the reverse direction, which means that his tenfold axe mountain axe winds up hitting his body instead. And just like he did to Genbo, he's left sliding off of a tree with a whole bunch of blood on it as well. Retribution comes around mighty quick, doesn't it? He says as he slams into the tree. And his eyes are widened over, he slides off the tree, and Robin walks up to him and grabs him by the hair. And you just see Robin's face. Her eyes are shadowed over, this whole feeling of like, you're about to die. It's right there, and she holds his face up so that she can see him at her level.
The site you destroyed was a priceless treasure. History always repeats itself, but we can never return to the past. You don't seem to understand that.
I understand. I won't do it again. Please forgive me.
I won't forgive you.
Then I'll just have to kill you!
And then it cuts to Yama as he tries to grab Robin, but she just waves a hand and multiple arms pop up and grab Yama's fingers, and she literally breaks his fingers. Like, she bends his hands back and then breaks his fingers in the process.
My fingers!
Cien fleur. Delphinium.
And then a long line, like a long stretch of limbs that are up out of the ground are right there in front of, right there past Robin. And those arms start grabbing onto Yama and they start rolling him.
What's this? Stop! Where are you taking me? Ah!
And they just start rolling Yama down this long line of arms, like they keep doubling over, rolling Yama like a bowling ball, towards the edge of a cliff.
No! Stop!
And then it cuts to Yama, who's flying over the skyline.
It's too late.
And then a whole bunch of arms pop up onto Yama's neck, his arms, and his legs.
Can't breathe!
And then it just shows the trees. It shows the ruins. And then there you hear a massive crack as Robin says, clutch. And then it shows Yama down on the ground, head first into the ground, unmoving. With Robin ending this panel with,
you do such horrible things.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of chapter 265. We'll move on to chapter 266, but we got an SPS. Reader, at Jump Festa 2003, good God, this was so long ago. At Jump Festa 2003, when someone, 20 years ago, oddly enough, At Jump Festa 2003, when someone asks, why is Zoro so awesome? You answered, because he's just like me, putting the Japanese voice actor for Zoro, Kazuya Nakai, on the spot. You need to get out of the picture immediately. Okay, now that Eiichiro Oda is gone, we can begin the question corner without further ado. Let's begin the question corner! Oda, I had totally forgotten about that moment. Jump Festa is an annual event in Japan held at the end of the year. It's huge and lots of fun. I hear that more than 100,000 people attend the 2-day event. There's even a remarkable One Piece musical. It's amazing! Now let's begin the question corner. Question. Hello, Oda-sensei. I've been wondering this for some time. Is there a difference between the captains in the Navy headquarters and the auxiliary? Auxiliary? Yeah. Have I been saying auxiliary wrong? I feel like I've been saying that word wrong for so many years now that I actually look at it. And the auxiliary navy, is one stronger than the other? Do they train differently? The big brother in the room. Answer: yes, there is a difference. The Navy headquarters are a super elite group within the Navy. The Navy representatives who appear in the plaza in Volume 2 are lieutenants, sub-lieutenants, and ensigns. If former Captain Axehand Morgan and Captain Nezumi from Nami's village had been at Navy headquarters, they might have been in that battle. A good rule of thumb is to keep in mind that there is a 3-rank difference between the Navy headquarters and the auxiliary captains in the auxiliary. Captains in the auxiliary would be lieutenants, and sub-captains would be sub-lieutenants, and etc. That's the end of the SBS. Chapter 266, Pirate Chopper versus Vassal Ohm. And we haven't seen Gedatsu in a hot minute, so yeah. But it cuts to that long stretch. You know, the same area that Chopper was looking at before when he finished dealing with Gedatsu, and it has that big opening in the distance as well. And Robin is there.
That's odd. This should be the city center, but it doesn't match up with the cenotaph map. Was it blown to bits when we landed in the sky?
And then Robin goes through this tunnel and winds up in the opening of a large, even more ruined area. And it's beautiful, like she's looking around at all these ruins, looking at all the structures, taking pictures, putting down notes, truly an archaeologist.
Something's not right. Is this El Dorado? The size and topography are totally off. Stranger still, it can't be.
As it shows this ginormous stalk that is all the way up in the air. Remember, in the last couple of chapters, a jack was mentioned, and it's a giant beanstalk, or it's giant beanstalk-looking plant that is all the way up into the air. And it's the only one that's up in the air, at least the ones that we can see. And then it cuts to Chopper, who's apparently... It cuts to Chopper, who's apparently climbing this entire stalk.
Almost there. I bet everybody will be impressed if I get to El Dorado first.
And then it cuts to Chopper, who gets through the clouds.
Wow! So there are ruins here too! Wow, what is this place? The ground's slanted a little.
Stay. I said stay, Holly. Holly, stay!
And then we see something behind Chopper that he kind of notices because something breathes on him. And Chopper turns around, and it's the giant dog that is with Vassal Ohm all the time. And Chopper screams, and his scream is so powerful that it causes his hat, along with his antlers, to come right off of his head. And he just screams for his life.
I'm in over my head! I should have gone back! I'm gonna die!
And then it cuts to Ohm.
You're the third one today to make it this far. That dimwit is so careless. You defeated Gedatsu.
Must be that man from before!
It's okay, it's okay. A dolt like that is better off dead. Don't you agree?
And then it cuts to Chopper backing up from Ohm, but he trips over somebody, and it's basically...
What was that?
It's basically the body of a Shandian warrior.
Don't be scared. It's just Holly, my trusty canine sidekick. He won't bite.
But this man's all bloody, and he's out cold!
Holly's well trained, so he won't attack unless I command it. I'm the one who chopped that one up.
That makes it even worse! Hello!
Quiet. My name is Ohm. I'm mourning human frailty.
And Ohm is apparently crying underneath his shades.
Humans are so weak, and yet, why do they keep destroying each other in battle?
Huh? What are you talking about?
They were born hoping for happiness, and destroy each other in their pursuit of it. But if that's true, they would be better off not fighting. One can't escape human nature. Pity. But there is one path to salvation. They all must die.
A scary solution!
Why have you come here?
Oh, I'm just looking for the gold.
If you want it, you'll start a fight.
Oh.
I'll save you.
And it cuts to Ohm, who stands up and he draws his sword. Because remember, he says there's only one path to salvation. Everyone must die, and that includes Chopper.
Saving me is the last thing on his mind!
And then it cuts to a distance. And it cuts to the area where Kamakiri was, 1 million volt varied by Eneru earlier. And Rocky is there apparently with him.
Go, Rocky.
But Kamakiri...
Wiper is headed to the Kami's temple, but Eneru isn't there. It's not too late. You can stop him. Stop Wiper.
I know, so please, hush.
No one can beat him.
I am lightning.
And it cuts back to when Eneru basically just fried his behind.
He is invincible.
I promise, I'll stop Wiper. Wait for me here. I'll leave Ice's bag with you.
And then Rocky jets off, thinking,
Kamakiri is strong, but Eneru broke his spirit. The Rumble fruit is the most powerful devil fruit of the Logia type.
there it is! There it is! There it is! We now have all the names and different categories of devil fruits mentioned in One Piece thus far. First, we had Zoan. Then, we had Paramecia. And now, we have Logia. And we also have the name of Eneru's devil fruit. The Rumble fruit.
The Rumble fruit is the most powerful devil fruit of the Logia type, and Eneru has its powers.
And then it cuts to... Zoro walking in the forest with the Southbird.
This looks familiar. Or maybe not. Aha! This place just looks familiar.
And then it cuts to the Southbird, who's just snickering at Zoro because he has a horrible sense of direction.
Did you just laugh at me?
Joel!
It's your fault you followed me looking for food. That's what you get.
Yo, Cedes, good to see you. We are on chapter 266 of volume 29 of One Piece, and we just had the name of Eneru's devil fruit dropped and the first mention of Logia-type devil fruits.
It's your fault you followed me looking for food. That's what you get. Come on, then.
Joel?
And how am I doing? I'm doing great. Thankful to be alive, breathing. I can do everything that I'm able to do, move, see, hear, everything. I'm grateful to be alive. And with me being alive, I'm grateful that I'm able to do this and entertain all of you. What arc are we in? Skypiea! We are in the Skypiea arc, Cedes.
Joel?
And then the Southbird looks at Zoro's backpack.
Huh? Idiot! Wait! There's no food in there! Let go! Hey!
And the Southbird picks up Zoro's backpack, thinking it has food inside, and he just flies off.
Why you?
Where do you think you're going?
Joel!
And then it cuts to Luffy, still underground.
Huh? What? A dead end? After walking all this way. Wait, could it be a trick door? Maybe, right. Maybe if I get past this, there's an exit. Gum.
Bazooka! And he tries to He tries to hit the wall thinking that it's gonna budge, but it doesn't. Why? It's not budging! And then the ground starts to shake underneath him. What? As the ground gives way underneath Luffy. And then we cut to Chopper, who's screaming his head off, running away from home.
He's not coming after me. Is he the one? Is he one of the Kami's vassals too? Luckily, there are lots of places to hide here. I have to escape and meet up with Luffy and the crew. He looks like a swordsman, so I might be able to get away if I keep my distance.
He ran far. And then, all of a sudden, a flying slash goes straight towards Chopper, where Ohm is, and Chopper gets hit by it.
There is no path of life, only the way towards sadness. Here, the survival rate is 0%. Iron Challenge.
And that's the end of chapter 266. We got another SBS, and then we can move on to chapter 267. Oh, I'm having so much fun right now reading through this. And I can't wait to test out that Lies of P demo later on with all of you. Reader! La 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 la. And then this is a melancholy song about life in the northern island of Hokkaido. Kita no Kunikara by Masashi Sada. And then this is Oda singing along going, la 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 lu. Ugh, enough already. I can't believe you made me sing that. Though I do love Kita no Kunikara. What demo? Lies of P. You know that Lies of P, that is that new Souls-like game where you're playing, Pinocchio in like the steampunk world. That demo dropped during the Summer Game Fest showcase. Summer showcase yesterday. The demo went live yesterday, but I didn't have enough time to actually play the demo because I was talking with Gajil for like a number of hours. So we're going to be playing through that demo later today after I have some lunch and see if it's a game worthy enough for me to add to my list of games I play this year. But we'll see. But also, don't know if you heard, but we also got the release date of Spider-Man 2, October 20th. And Insomniac is already sure that they are going to be releasing their game. They are incredibly confident that they're releasing their game on October 20th. You was about it, if I remember. I said I was going to look into it, but I didn't know. So, since there's a free demo out, might as well test it for myself. Mind you, I haven't really seen gameplay of it since I was like, I don't know. Because part of me was kind of tired from messing with a whole bunch of Souls-like, but we'll see. We'll see. Question. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm a big fan of your work. I always listen to the radio at work, and the other day on Nippon Radio, I heard a quiz question from Makoto Kitano about a unique type of snow that falls in France. The answer was that the snow is pink. Did you already know about this, and this is why you worked it into your storyline? Ayumi no Chopper. Answer. Pink snow, huh? Yes, I knew about it. The reason it's pink is that dust attaches to iron particles in the air, causing the snow to look pink or red. This happened in France. In Vienna, there were also cases of yellow snow. Sometimes the mischief caused by air pollution creates fantastic scenery. I honestly feel like don't mess with yellow snow that's already on the ground. If it's in the air, it's like, okay. But if it's on the ground, don't mess with the yellow snow. Question. Hi, Oda-sensei. I have a question about the Kami's vassals in Skypiea. Gedatsu, the concept of freeing oneself of earthly problems in Buddhism. Shura, the realm of the semi-divine in Buddhism. Why did I say Buddhism? That's a different type of ism. Why did I say Buddhism? saying that. I'm sorry. We do a little joking here on this channel. I'm sorry. Your coworker keeps asking, have you watched One Piece, and you haven't? One Piece is getting really good. The manga is getting really good. And this chapter we're getting this upcoming Sunday, which I am not looking at any scans or anything because you guys know how I roll. I don't read scans anymore. But this is going to be the last chapter we get for about a good month because Oda's going to be taking a break for his eye surgery. And whatever chapter they leave us out on is going to have to carry us on for a whole month. So, yeah. But, yeah. Let me get back to this. Gedatsu, the concept of freeing oneself of earthly problems in Buddhism. Shura, the realm of the semi-divine in Buddhism. Satori, enlightenment in Buddhism. Yama, the lord of the afterlife in Buddhism. Did you choose religious names because the storyline takes place in the realm of a kami, God? Also, if you could, would you please let me know where Om's name comes from? Man, 5 weeks without One Piece. This was the same deal we had last year when Oda took that break in order to finalize the final saga of One Piece. So, but also, Oda's basically been on fire ever since he came out of break from last year. So, he definitely does need this time to recuperate and rest. Him not drawing or doing anything with his eyes, him just resting up, it's good for him and his health. Because a lot of mangakas out there will take their health for granted just to put chapters out and put their health in jeopardy just to satisfy us readers and, you know, continue their series. But I honestly feel like I don't mind if we get a couple of breaks on series if it means that the author gets to rest. Because I would much rather the authors of a story rest so they can continue to do the story than them continue to do the story and put their health at risk, therefore endangering us even getting the rest of the story. So I much rather they rest and keep their healths in check, even if it means we suffer some breaks in the process. Oda! Yes, that's right. I'm not religious, so I winged it. Om is a sacred Hindu symbol written like this, and it looks like the number 30 with a little sign over it. Is Oda an artist and writer, or just an artist, or just a writer? He draws. He draws. He draws. Story and art by Eiichiro Oda, and this is in every volume of One Piece. Oda writes and draws the panels for his own comics. Sure, he has help, but he's the one who draws it. Story and art by him. This dude is telling us a story and drawing the story. That's the reason why the pages look so good, because it's coming from Oda himself. Om is a sacred Hindu symbol written like this, and like I said, it looks like the number 30 with like a symbol over it. My apologies to all the spiritual readers out there. Chapter 267, March. And it cuts to the forest, and we cut to Nami, and it cuts to Nami going,
Hey, that's no good.
and someone jumps into the water, apparently.
I told you to wait. What do you want? What do you want with? What do you want with me? Let go! It's none of your business.
Because Isa tried to dive into the Milky Road and go off on her own, but Nami got her.
I know it's none of my business, but I can't let a kid like you get herself killed.
I'm a warrior.
Okay, kid, you're a warrior. You can't scare me with that look.
Because Isa's basically giving her the stink eye, apparently.
Is everything all right?
Fine. Look, it's pointless fighting it. Get on.
Let go. I'm gonna save everybody.
Don't make me punch you.
Even two of our crew have been beaten.
And then it cuts to this giant snake that's looping around them as they're making their way through this Milky Road. And it comes up out of the water right next to the Mary, and it's looking at them.
Huh?
And then the snake just looks at him.
What?
Goodness, that's why I love your channel. All of us always have hilariously, why I love your channel. All of us always, yeah, Hey, I'm glad. Look, this is the reason why I do this, Psycho. I love doing this. Not just because it pays, because it does pay, and that's growing. So thank you for that. But because this is what I'm good at, and I just love to entertain people. Because you never know what type of day people may be having. And if what I do here on this channel is able to make people's days brighter, or they can just walk away from any stream or video or short that I do feeling a little bit better about their day, then I've done my job. This is the reason why this channel exists. But this giant snake just looks at the Mary and everybody else and they're going, "What?" And then we cut to Luffy. Boy, that was a surprise. What's with this cave? I thought there was an earthquake. Next thing I know, I was about to be swallowed by a sea cloud. I almost drowned. Come on, open up! And... oh... Luffy's not in a cave. Luffy is in the snake. Luffy's in the snake. Because I was wondering, man, this must be a wet cave. Why is it dripping? And then he goes, come on, open up! And then it cuts to the snake on the outside. The same one that's following Nami and everyone else, screaming out in pain. And then everyone screams. It says, Ju la 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 la.
What is that? It's huge!
Where's the way out? And then Luffy is just punching the snake inside. And then Nami just takes off on her own. Nami just takes off on her own on the waiver going, oh no! And she just goes into the forest.
Nami, that way leads to the woods. Nami!
And then Pagaya and Konis can only look on as Nami just takes off into the woods with the snake right behind her. And Pagaya,
What? What did we do? She went in.
do it again. I kind of like it. I kind of like doing that. I'm so glad I'm doing this series. I really am. I like saying that. That could be an alarm. It could really be an alarm. I'm sorry. But we cut back to another section of the woods as we see a heavenly warrior against a Shandian warrior.
Why you? Bah! You're a tough one.
And then something goes whipping through the woods. Something goes whipping through the woods that they both see, and it's like, huh? What's that? And they hear something breaking through the woods, getting closer and closer, and you hear someone screaming in the distance. You will hate it after a while? I don't know. Yeah, you know what? You're right, because not as an alarm, but just an occasional thing. Because I know for a fact, yeah, you're right, Cohagen, don't use it as an alarm. Because as a person who's had to go through 3 different alarms for my jobs in the past, whenever I hear those alarms, it just reminds me of my previous jobs, and it's all like, I don't ever want to hear this again! So yeah, you're actually right. Continuing.
What's that? What? Something's coming. Bah!
And then the screams get louder and louder as that very same snake comes barreling through the woods.
Go that way! That way!
As Nami's running away. Remember I had that snail alarm? That was actually a ringtone. Because the way that my phone works is I used to have the option where I could set different notifications, but since I got like a newer phone in the past, everything is kind of like just condensed into one sound. So for my ringtone, I used to have the Den Den Mushi sound. I used to, when people were calling me on my phone, all you could hear in the background was bidip, 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 bidip. Bidip, 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 bidip. Unfortunately, it didn't have that gotcha sound whenever I answered the call. That would be cool if it did, but that's what I had as my ringtone. Now I just have the Boba Fett theme because it just makes me want to work out. Yeah! Do, 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 do. Sorry, continuing on. I'm getting distracted here. I'm sorry. But the snake comes barreling through the forest with Nami running ahead, racing ahead.
Go that way! That way!
Whoa! It's the ruler of the sky! What? Was that Isa?
Yeah, because Isa is also holding on to Nami. Did I not notice that Isa was holding on to her? Wow, Isa was holding on to Nami. How did I not notice her? All I saw was Nami running away. I didn't notice that Isa was holding on to Nami this whole time.
What? Was that Isa?
No, see that. You're fine. This happens. I start talking about different things when stuff pops up during these volumes. You're fine. Don't even worry about it.
Was that Isa?
Yeah!
And then it cuts to Isa holding on to Nami, and they come to a stop.
We're in the woods.
And then it cuts back to the South Bird that's flying with Zoro.
Ugh. Hey, you. Let me down. Are you listening to me, idiot?
Jaw!
Dumb bird. Maybe I should cut him down.
And then there's a cracking sound.
Jaw?
Huh? What the?
And as they're flying in the air, that very same snake pops up through the trees and tries to chomp on both Zoro and the South Bird.
Whoa!
Jaw!
It's a giant serpent! Hey, you! Fly higher or we're gonna get eaten!
Jaw!
And then the South Bird just takes off. The South Bird just takes off flying, and the snake is actually following them. And Zoro's hanging on for dear life, going,
It's still coming! Does it seem like it's angry?
and then the South Bird has a thought in its head. The South Bird will get me. The South Bird wants food. Zoro must be food. The snake can get both me and Zoro. But if I drop him, then the snake will only go after Zoro. So, the South Bird then proceeds to just drop Zoro and just fly off on his own.
Jaw!
What? Why you?
And then the South Bird just flies away.
Jaw!
And then all we see is just Zoro falling in the direction of this giant serpent. Then we cut back to the ruins with the giant stalk that goes up into the air. And we got someone who's rapidly ascending, and it's Wiper.
The Kami's temple is at the top of this giant jack. Eneru is there. I'm gonna take him down and end this 400-year struggle.
And then when he gets up to the top, this also happens to be the same area where Ohm was dealing with Chopper. And he launches up, but something comes up before he stops and keeps him from ascending. And it's a giant long-range sword slash by Ohm.
Ugh!
Wiper, if you keep climbing, you'll reach the Kami's temple. Who let you pass?
And then it cuts to Ganfor!
The Kami's temple. There's no point in going there now. Ganfor!
Blue!
Why are you here? Are you still trying to reclaim your position as Kami? I have no regrets, but I have some unfinished business. I just went up and saw the Kami's temple. It was tragic. Everything was destroyed. Eneru was not there, of course. He's sending the message that he no longer has a use for the temple.
Wow, so when Eneru left, he fried everybody that was up there. He fried everyone that was up there in the temple with him. Gil's all like, yeah, I don't need this place anymore. Might as well just kill you all, and just killed everybody. He just wasted everybody. Destroyed even the little space he was living in.
He's sending the message that he no longer has a use for the temple.
The 6-year mission is finally coming to an end. I came here to bid you farewell.
And this is when Eneru appeared on the Mary and electrified both Sanji and Usopp earlier on.
What are you people up to, Om?
Eneru is not at the Kami's temple.
And then it cuts to someone falling through the air, and it's Zoro! And he comes crashing in right next to Wiper.
One of the Straw Hat crew.
Ugh, that Bert's gonna pay. It's you!
Huh? Where am I?
And then it cuts to the giant snake outside at the bottom of the giant jack, making its way towards it.
Ruins?
And Zoro's just looking around. Uh-oh. It disconnected and it reconnected. We should be fine now. I saw it. I don't know what is going on with my network sometimes. It's kind of weird. Hold on. Let me make sure that I didn't cut anything off. We need to make sure this is still current. Yep. Let's go back. There it is. We cut to the giant snake that's at the bottom of the giant jack. As it goes, and then it cuts to Zoro again.
Ruins?
And he's, like wiping dust off of him. He's kind of got like a little bit of a bloody nose, but it's not major. And he's just dusting himself off. And he just goes,
well, you look vicious. Surrender the gold.
My thing is, Zoro just came falling from the sky, and he doesn't waste any time just looking at Ohm, specifically Ohm, going, you look vicious, surrender the gold. I mean, if it was me, and I got dropped from like hundreds of feet up, and I faceplant into the ground, I'm going to take a moment to, like catch my breath. Because you ever be tired after you fall? Like, you ain't did nothing. You just fell, but you're just suddenly tired. This man fell hundreds of feet, and he gets up and is all like, ugh, okay, I'm good. You look vicious. Give me your gold. It's all like, okay, just how tough are you? One track mind. Also, he still managed to get to the area where they're all supposed to be getting, even though this man has a horrible sense of direction.
Well, you look vicious. Surrender the gold.
Oh, this is so sad. No one can escape my iron challenge.
And then it cuts to Wiper.
If you insist on getting in my way, I'll wipe out all of you.
Then Ganfor.
Where is Eneru? Tell me where the Kami's forces are.
Then it cuts to Luffy still inside the snake going, what's with this cave? And he's just beating up this snake on the inside with the snake screaming in pain. And then it just cuts to the snake making its way towards where everyone is, still screaming in pain.
Well, it seems we all have our opinions, but if you wish to be heard, the first order of business is to survive.
And Ohm says this as we get to a beautiful double spread panel of Zoro, Ohm, the snake, Wiper, Ganfor, Holly, Pierre, and Luffy, who is in there somewhere. But they all just have this massive standoff. And that's the end of chapter 267. Onwards to chapter 268. Sweet. And we have Zoro standing there, sword drawn. Not all swords, but just one sword drawn, while the snake is up there with them.
The giant serpent even followed me here.
And it cuts to the snake that's just going, and it's just hurting on the inside. It's not a matter of it following Zoro, it's a matter of it's in pain and it's just being driven in a direction.
Let's go, Holly. You can be a bad dog this time.
Pierre, your target is home.
And then it cuts to Wiper, who just loads his bazooka. See, how heavy is that thing for you to be lugging it everywhere you go? You don't have like a strap that can keep it down when you're moving. This dude is always holding his bazooka. It's like that one chick from Metal Slug. Just always holding a bazooka. And then it cuts to Luffy, who's still on the inside of the snake. I can't break through. It keeps moving sideways and upside down. There's something wrong with this cave. Oh, now you realize?
All of you, disappear!
As Wiper opens fire with his bazooka. And everyone dodges out of the way, including the snake. And the snake is just still going with the ju la 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 la. And the snake looks at it, and it aims towards Wiper.
That's an annoying weapon. No, nothing, Blue. That's an annoying weapon. No, nothing, Blue Sea people. You arrived only yesterday. You won't be getting anything from here.
I don't have time for your story. It's got nothing to do with us.
As Zoro goes up and he clashes with Wiper.
I thought so. I was planning on wiping you out anyway. How convenient. Die! This idiot is stronger than I thought.
And this is coming from Zoro, who clashes with Wiper for the very first time, and he immediately recognizes that Wiper is strong. Just from their first hit against each other, he realizes, oh, this dude's strong. Stronger than I thought. And it cuts to Wiper as the snake comes barreling in right next to Zoro, destroying a little bit of the ruins in the process. And then the snake just goes barreling through the area because it's, hurting on the inside.
Ugh. Oh yeah, the snake has poisonous fangs.
Because remember, this thing tried to bite into a tree earlier on. It's also the same snake that we saw that bit into the tree earlier on, and the poison from that snake was so acidic that it melted and burned through the tree it bit into. That's how potent that poison is.
Oh yeah, the snake has poisonous fangs.
And then it shows Zoro with Holly and Ohm right behind him.
Rawr! And this one's got fangs too!
And then, as it looks like the dog's about to bite him, it tries to hit Zoro. It tries to punch Zoro. Like, it literally stands up on two legs and tries to punch Zoro. And Zoro dodges out of the way.
Whoa! Huh? What's this mud up to?
This is Holly. I'm warning you. I'm a sky breeder. I went above and beyond in training my animals. He can walk on two legs and is skilled in hand-to-hand combat.
There are limits. There are limits, aren't there? Enjoy the demonstration.
Then it cuts to Ganfor and Pierre flying in towards Ohm. And Ohm deflects a blow from Ganfor.
Haven't given up yet, Ganfor. Even after a louse like Shura beat you. Isn't swinging that spear too much for you, you old fool?
Even so, I cannot retreat. I cannot let your cohorts proceed with your plans, whatever they may be.
Don't underestimate yourself. Even if you knew, you can't begin to comprehend the noble sentiments of the kami.
Then it cuts back to the area underneath the cloud area where everyone is fighting. And we get closer and closer and closer to the ruins that's right here in the middle, right next to it. And then we see someone with their hands up, pushing some stuff off to the side. And it's Robin, as she apparently made a hole by cutting pieces of the clouds with a knife and using her arms to push those blocks up so she can dig like a deep enough hole.
Whew. There's a way underneath.
And she cuts a way through the clouds and drops down into a lower area. And then she has her hands drop her backpack down. That's actually a very useful power. You can sprout limbs in different places that can, pick up on objects or grab hold of people. It's like a literal sense. It's like a literal type of telekinesis, but it's like grounded telekinesis when you think about it, because those hands can basically just, if she sees it, then her hands can sprout. She can sprout hands and bring that object to her. It's a roundabout, grounded type of telekinesis, but it's not with the power of her mind. It's just with the power of her hands. It's kind of unique when you think about it. But she drops the backpack right back down to her. And Robin goes,
"It's huge, just as I thought. This site's deeper than it looks. Though it's a blue sea ruin, the land around it is an island cloud. I knew something wasn't right. Sky clouds have simply taken over the land. They're just the top layer. I can go deeper.
So it seems that the area that looks like it was just nothing but puffy clouds and ruins were sunken in it is actually the clouds have overtaken the ruins and there's more underneath. Like the depths in Tears of the Kingdom. There's more underneath. Also, quick fact about the Tears of the Kingdom's depths. The depths are basically a dark version of the land above, when you think about it. Because a lot of the ruins that you come across above ground is basically opposite of what it is down in the depths. So it's like a dark version of Hyrule underneath the ground. But we cut back. Yo, Ozzy, and her hands can sprout ears and eyes. And it's not just her hands, she can literally sprout any part of her body onto any surface. So if she wants to spy on you, she can just put an eye up in the corner of your room. You wouldn't even know it. You wouldn't even know it. It would just be right there looking at you. Or it could be like, say for instance, it's behind my bookcase and she was just looking at me there. She could see me there. Or she could put like an ear behind your laptop so she can hear you and stuff like that. Perfect ability to have when you're like a spy or an infiltrator. There's so many options. Hold on. I'm back. Apologies, everyone. This is going to be weird for people who watch this after the stream is up and they see these pauses. But luckily, they'll be able to tell when I come back. But it cuts to Zoro, who's flipping backwards. The snake keeps getting in the way. And he looks over, and we finally see Chopper. We see Chopper after he got slashed by Ohm after all this time. Chopper? Hey! Chopper, you're... I see. You're friends from the Blue Sea. Hey, be careful. As Zoro runs over, he touches something, and a big barbed wire line shoots up and kind of nails him in the chest just a little bit. Gah! And he falls to the ground. What was that? That must be the challenge. What's this? Barbed wire? It's called an iron cloud. It's as light as a cloud, but as strong as iron. Milky dials produce them. Each one corresponds to an area on the ground. Stepping on one will activate it. Here, it's impossible to know where the switches are hidden. Half of that animal was my doing, though. And it shows that he not only injured Chopper, but Chopper got caught up in the Iron Challenge as well. The rest of his injuries were from the challenge. Chopper! Hey! Chopper! Answer me! Why were you here alone? What a pity. And that gets Zoro's attention when Ohm says, what a pity. Do you seek revenge now? No. I don't like to fight with a motive. Oh, I see. An idealist. But I can feel one coming on. As Zoro glares at Ohm. It's one thing to try and fight Zoro and get in his way. It's another to injure a member of his crew that he's already accepted. The whole Straw Hat crew has fully accepted Chopper. So when you injure the youngest member of the crew, literal kid, yeah, Zoro's about to run hands. Let's continue. But we get to the ruins, and Robin is steadily going through, looking at more of these hidden ruins underground.
A light?
And then she gets closer and closer, and she starts moving quickly, and she stops before she falls down this big, ginormous shaft.
Oh!
And then she sees something, but it cuts to other people who are running through the large open field right in front of the giant jack.
There's the giant jack!
Don't let them get to the Kami's temple! Bah! Catch up with the Shandians!
Why is he saying bah? Is he a goat?
So Chopper is like a little brother of the crew, basically. And then it cuts to Isa, because she's riding with Nami, going,
They're the Kami's forces! They'll kill us if they catch us! Wait, where are we going?
and then it cuts back to Zoro as he's preparing to face off against Ohm, and everyone is still doing their fighting, along with the giant snake. It's just pandemonium on top of this upper area of the giant jack. And then it cuts to Robin, who's just sitting there in front of this opening. And it keeps looking, and she keeps looking out, and it keeps going to the view of where the giant jack is, but this is not where Robin is.
800 years ago, the city of Shandora suddenly disappeared. And yet here it is, in all of its glory. It's so majestic.
And then it cuts to the area where Robin is, and apparently
This is Shandora, the lost city of gold.
So, the whole area where Robin cut down into, the area underneath that big, wide open cloud field that has ruins sticking up through it, Shandora has been underneath it. But no one has ever known it's been under there because it's been covered in clouds. All those years ago, the city was covered in clouds. Like, not completely covered, but it had a covering that kept people from getting in there. And Robin is the first person in hundreds of years to get access to this place. And because it shows the ruins underneath this cloud. Now, mind you, this is black and white, so I can't tell if it's gold or not. I'm going to have to look at the anime episode.
This is Shandora, the lost city of gold.
And that is the end of chapter 268. Onwards to chapter 269, Concerto. And it begins with Upper Yard, Northeastern Shore. And then it cuts to Pagaya with Kaunis and Sue, who are still on the Mary.
Excuse me, is this the right place, Kaunis? Is this where the crew will meet?
Yes, father. Nami said so.
But this is no good. I didn't think we would be the ones protecting the ship. We must guard the ship with our lives until they return. Shall we blow the horn to ward off enemies?
Yes, father. That will give us courage.
What? You're going to blow a horn and just let people know where you are. It's not going to scare anyone. It's going to draw them to you. I'm just saying. And they just start blaring the horn.
That's good.
Sue, could you keep watch from there?
Sir!
Okay, I'm going to help you recover. Keep your spirits up, both of you.
As it shows Usopp and Sanji, bandaged up because, they were electrocuted.
Please, let everyone be safe. I'm sorry the Sky Island is in this state.
As the music from his bike, from his waiver bike, is just blaring full blast
To ward off enemies.
And then we cut back to the forest, and it shows the defeated body of Shura as someone goes,
Go to the Kami's temple. Don't let them reach the Kami's temple. Bah! We'll take Eneru's head. We must act now.
and then it just cuts to the Heavenly Warriors chasing after the remaining Shandian warriors. We see the defeated Brahm, we see the defeated Kamakiri, we see the defeated Genbo, Climb the giant jack! And then it cuts to Rocky.
Wiper. Don't use the reject dial again. Don't confront Eneru.
Heavenly warriors, retreat! Stop the Shandians! And it cuts to the defeated Hotori and Kotori in the distance. Then it cuts to the giant jack. Explosions are still happening. The Shandians are making their way towards the giant jack, and the Heavenly Warriors are right after them. Cuts to the defeated Yama, whose body is still face first, sticking up out of the ground, and Eneru is just laughing at everything. Yeah! Perfect. They'll all climb to the top and perish there. The Kami's prophecy will come true. And then it cuts to Wiper firing at Ganfor.
Stop it, Wiper! You're what? Were you going to claim you're not the enemy? To us, you and Eneru. To us, you and Eneru are one and the same, Ganfor. You won't listen, will you?
As the snake is just going over and over in a rampage, with Ganfor dodging out of the way, and Pierre's all like, do I really need to be here? Ganfor, question, time out, whoop whoop, can we stop? Big snake, can I leave? I've been turned into a horse. Can I go home? It's just like Pierre's all like, I don't want to be here anymore. That's just how the bird is. But the snake is just tearing up the whole ruins while everyone is still fighting. And Wiper jumps away from it and then just fires his bazooka point blank at the snake's face. And the snake just shakes it off. And this angers it as it goes,
The burn bazooka doesn't work on the snake. What are its scales made of?
And the snake just continues to tear through the entire area. And then it cuts to Luffy, who's literally just being tossed around inside this snake still. I can't take it anymore. I hate this cave. Then we cut back to the outside, where Zoro is still getting up because he's getting up because apparently he's been injured. This isn't the same cut he got when he ran into the barbed wire. He got a new one as his fight with Ohm continues.
What did you just do?
That's why Blue Sea people are useless. This sword is an iron cloud too. The blade has a dial, from which an iron cloud comes, and pursues its target forever.
So that's how he managed to injure Chopper. Ohm's sword is basically an iron cloud that can go after an individual and chase him, which is why when I thought it was like a slash. This is the reason why I'm going through all these volumes, so my know-how of One Piece can increase. But I thought it was just like some sort of long-range flying slash, but it was actually the iron cloud moving at high speeds in order to hit Chopper. Kind of like what is it? What is this? Like Shinzo, Gin's Bankai, where it can extend it incredibly fast. Not to the extent of Gin's Bankai, which can literally move 2 times the speed of sound, but fast enough where it's able to hit someone from a far-off distance almost instantaneously.
This sword is an iron cloud too. The blade has a dial, from which an iron cloud comes, and pursues its target forever.
And the sword extends, and it chases after Zoro, who immediately brings his sword up in order to block it.
Do you understand, swordsman of the Blue Sea?
It's like a whip. I get it. The white sea's full of warrior entertainers.
Holly,
Rawr?
Shall we split up and fight? The top-tier ruins are getting a little crowded.
And it cuts to numerous individuals hopping up the jack and landing up top. And it's the Heavenly Warriors.
Well, even the ruler of the sky is here. We will aid you, Lord Ohm! Bah!
And it's a whole slew of Heavenly Warriors who are there to give Ohm a hand. And then we get people with some waiver skates on. It's the Shandian warriors, ladies and gentlemen.
You lot.
It appears
It's not just us. We'll help you get to Lord Eneru, Wiper.
Well, I'll just dig my way out. And it cuts to Luffy, who takes like a jagged rock and just starts trying to carve through the snake from the inside. But it doesn't do anything. It gets the snake's attention and goes,
Oh no, the giant serpent!
and the snake starts laughing uncontrollably because apparently Luffy is tickling it from the inside. And everyone is confused. The Heavenly Warriors and everyone are looking at this giant snake going,
It's laughing?
Then we start seeing more people shoot up the jack.
Wait! Bah! Bah!
Nami?
Isa, your lady! Take them down! Bah!
And then everyone starts clashing with one another. Wiper takes out... Well, everyone starts clashing with one another. And Wiper, Zoro, and Ganfor all take down numerous Heavenly Warriors that tried going after Nami. All at once, saving both Nami and Isa. So all three of these dudes just popped up and took down the Heavenly Warriors chasing after them. Cool. Love it. They get thrown through some ruins too. It's beautiful.
Isa, what are you doing here?
Nami, what are you doing here?
Hey, Zoro. Where is everyone?
What are you up to, Blue Sea people? Isa, get away from them!
And then it cuts to Ganfor, who sees Wiper blast in their direction and dodges out of the way. And he dodges out of the way, and it looks like he grabs Nami and Isa before, Wiper can shoot. My thing is, he didn't even wait for Isa to get away before he shot. He says, get away from them, and then he just opened fires. He didn't even wait for Isa to even get away. He just opened fires. Wiper, you know better.
We're safe.
Why are you here?
Why?
You...
You demon! Wiper, you demon!
Oh, wait, this is Ganfor.
You demon! Wiper, you demon!
Well, it was a really big
And then it cuts to the snake
snake.
as it lifts its head high into the air going, and with a massive chomp, winds up chomping on Nami, Ganfor, Pierre, and Isa.
That idiot! Isa!
And then it just cuts to the snake licking its lips. And then it cuts to Holly and Ohm as they take this moment of distraction and Holly winds up punching Wiper, sending him flying, and Ohm uses his Ironclad sword to hit Zoro directly in the chest while he's distracted. Wiper! You let your guard down, idiots. You shouldn't have been concerned about other people, since none of you will leave here alive. And that's the end of chapter 269. Onwards to chapter 270, but we got an SBS now. Reader, hello, it's nice to meet you, Oda-sensei. There's something I've wondered about for a while. In chapter 198 of volume 22, when Crocodile grabs Vivi by the neck, and she says, I will save this, I was wondering if the 3 periods, like the drawn-off part, is connected to Vivi's line in volume 23, chapter 216. I like to continue my adventures, but when it comes down to it, I love this kingdom. I was thinking maybe the unsaid part in chapter 198 stands for love from chapter 216. That's what I wanted to know. Oda! Oh, thank you for reading into that. You're right, Vivi always feels that way. But the storm of rebellion stamped out the princess's feelings. In that last scene, the citizens must have been moved when Vivi uttered those words that echoed throughout the country. It's a beautiful story. Sob. Question. Isn't it true that you can't tell your direction on the Grand Line? If that's the case, then why in Volume 24 is Nami able to say ahead west by northwest when she's asked, what's your log post course? If you can't give me a straight answer, I request you go for an ice cold dip at your local pool. Well, it is summer. It's all good. Even though it is the Grand Line, it's possible near the continent to gauge the correct direction. Nami knew that they were proceeding towards the next island in a west by northwest direction, and she's saying that they're on the right course. I'll be skipping that cold swim. You cannot pull one over on Oda like that. Chapter 270, Serenade. I feel like a lot of these chapters have a lot of terminology from music. Concierto, Serenade. There's a lot of chapters in here that are just like music based. But it cuts to the Shandian warriors. How dare you do that to Wiper? And then it cuts to the snake that doesn't look too good. Bah! And then it cuts to the Heavenly Warriors as Holly and Om just stand there with the snake in the distance. And then we cut to Wiper, who's down on the ground bleeding. And then we cut to Zoro, who's face first down on the ground bleeding. Then we cut to Om. 4 of the Kami's warriors defeated in the top tier ruins. I doubt the other 2 have gone down yet. That leaves 4 more Shandians, 1 more Blue Sea person, 1 giant snake, and Holly. 10 people and 2 animals. Die, Bah! As it cuts to a Heavenly Warrior that launches at this Shandian warrior, and then there's an explosion in the distance. We're nearing the end. Holly, it's time. And then Holly just pumps his paws and goes, Woo! And then it cuts to Holly flying high into the air. And it flies towards one of the Shandian warriors, and with a spinning backhand, smacks this dude into a ruin. And as that's happening, we see an iron cloud pop up. Oh yeah, smacks the dude into the ruin, and the dude apparently falls on a trigger for some iron clouds, and he gets caught up in a torrent of ironclads that look like they pierce through him. Like, you see just these clouds down here at the bottom, these barbed wires pop up, and then you see a spray of blood just come up in between the barbed wires themselves. And then it cuts to Holly that's just standing there, and then Om goes, "Run, Holly!" And then Holly just starts running. And as that's happening, we're seeing numerous barbed wire clouds shoot up into the air. I wonder if there's a devil fruit power based on music. It is. But we'll get to that character when we get to him. He's in a later arc. But there is one. There's 2. One is technically non-canon, while another one is canon. So there is one. There is one. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, Psycho. But as Holly is running, all the remaining Shandian warriors notice that tons of barbed wire iron clouds pop up where Holly has been.
What are they up to? Heck, they just say that don't move? Could be trouble.
And it shows that these barbed wire iron clouds are raised in such a way that they create a fence around the area where they are.
This truly is the toughest part of the Iron Challenge.
The White Vine Cage Match! Just like I said, the barbed wire iron clouds all stretch over the area to become this very dense cage that no one can leave.
What's the point of a cage? I'm not gonna run away,
goes Zoro as he gets up, still bleeding.
Bah! Idiot! It's not simply there to trap you, it's made of white vines! In other words,
And before this one Heavenly Warrior can say anything, Wiper is already back up, and he kicks this man directly into the barbed wire itself.
Yeah!
And all we see is this man just heavily damaged by being kicked directly into barbed wire. Now, this isn't your average barbed wire either. This is barbed wire meant to harm. Not meant to deter people, but it's meant to harm. So imagine getting kicked into one. The barbs catching into your skin and your clothes, and taking pieces of you off of it when you fall down. And don't let your body slide down it in a jagged way. Oh, no, couldn't be me. And then it cuts to Wiper after knocking this heavenly warrior into it, going,
Touch it, and you'll regret it.
How do we get out once we've beaten them?
Worry about that after you've beaten them.
goes Ohm as he's talking to Zoro. And it cuts to the snake that looks like it's sick.
8 people and 2 animals remain.
As it cuts to some Shandian warrior in the distance fighting one of the heavenly warriors. We got Holly, we got Wiper, Ohm, and Zoro, and the snake's still there.
Wiper! I'm so glad I found you.
Rocky.
Wiper, listen to me.
Why are you here?
Huh? As it cuts to Zoro listening in.
Eneru is in the forest. Kamakiri has been defeated. He had a message for you.
Rocky, stay back. Get out of here.
Huh? Wiper, what are you saying?
No, don't.
No, don't!
Did you call for me?
Eneru shows up. He's just right behind him. Wiper's all like, no, don't! And then Eneru is right behind Rocky. Just going,
Did you call for me?
and he's just standing there, looking at Rocky.
Eneru!
Stop! Eneru, don't! She surrendered her right to fight!
And Wiper is so dismissive of the current situation that he's in that without thinking, he goes and runs up to the cage itself and puts his hands on it to try and, reason and warn and try and talk the situation down, even though he's getting stabbed in the hands at the same time.
She surrendered her right to fight! Hey!
Idiot! Worrying about others won't get you out alive! As a heavenly warrior appears right behind Wiper.
Rocky! Rocky, don't even try!
And it shows Rocky fruitlessly shooting at Eneru.
Get out of here!
And it shows the bullet holes of where Rocky shot. And Eneru is just standing there as the bullet holes in his body are just like, filling with electricity.
He's invincible!
And this is the words of Kamakiri.
Wiper, you're mine! Bah!
And it cuts to this heavenly warrior hitting Wiper directly in the back, but he's not even paying attention to the dude because he's more focused on Rocky.
You idiot.
Wiper, Eneru is...
And before she can even say anything, a big electrical explosion emanates from Eneru. And Wiper can only watch on as the charred body of Rocky falls directly in front of him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Eneru.
And then Zoro.
Is that the kami?
I know Zoro wouldn't need it with him being a skilled swordsman, but it would be awesome if he had a devil fruit power. Just saying. He does not need it. He doesn't need it. Because think about it. Then that would be one less person who can dive into the ocean just in case anything happens to the rest of the crew that has devil fruit powers. So I don't think Zoro, even if he wanted to, would handicap himself that way. So honestly, you can picture Zoro with the devil fruit, but he doesn't need it. He doesn't need it.
Eneru.
Is that the kami?
Seems it didn't work on him. I'll try one more time. Bah!
And then before this heavenly warrior can do anything, Wiper grabs him by the back of the head.
Bah?
Huh?
And Wiper shoves his face directly into the barbed wire clouds.
You aren't as strong as I thought, Shandian warrior Wiper. Women can be warriors too. The lambs that challenge me are all equal in my eyes.
And then Wiper's just standing there after, dragging this person's face through barbed wire, Like, just thinking of that is just horrible.
Just try not to die. Yeah!
And then Eneru just zaps away and disappears.
How terrifying. The kami is all-knowing.
As Ohm stands there in front of Zoro. And then we see Ohm, we see Holly, as another explosion happens behind the dog. We see Wiper again, and then we see Zoro. But Wiper,
The serpent!
First, I have an errand in your stomach.
and it cuts to Wiper and Zoro rushing towards the snake, and they look at each other, and they try to swipe at each other, going,
Stay out of my way!
and then it cuts to Ohm going, Holly, shake paw. And then Holly takes off and tries to hit both Wiper and Zoro.
Rawr!
And then Ohm tries to swipe at Zoro, and he blocks it. And then it cuts to a Heavenly Warrior who tries to hit Wiper,
Axe style!
but Wiper grabs him by his, like, locks his head in between his feet, like, puts his feet on his head, and then slams him, somersaults and slams him directly into the ground.
Ah!
Then we just have Ohm, Wiper, Zoro, Holly, and the snake.
Now there are 6 people and 2 animals.
Then we cut to the inside of the snake.
Ow!
And then it cuts to Pierre, who protected Isa all the way down.
Oh, blow.
Then Ganfor.
We've been swallowed. It's quite a large stomach.
Hey, Isa, are you okay? No! Wiper! Wiper, I'm so sorry! Huh? What is this place?
Can't you see? We're inside the snake. Now let's get out before we get digested. I hope the waiver isn't broken.
Hey, why aren't you 2 on the boat? Moreover, is that child Shandian?
Kami, I'll take care of you!
Stop it.
Goes Nami.
It appears we cannot cut through the stomach.
Don't be stupid. You want to mess around and make the snake mad? You want to throw your life away? Think!
That was a joke.
Oh, right. I'd like to see the idiot who'd do that for real. Whoa! Nami! Weird old man! Luffy? What are you doing in this creepy cave?
Finally. And Luffy looks like he's been on a journey. This man looks like he's been on a journey. His clothes are all tattered. He's got a walking stick. He's all like,
It's been 84 years since I last saw my crewmates. I thought I'd never see you again. Now, let's go find the One Piece.
like he looks like he's been traveling forever. And he's got tears in his eyes because I bet he thought he would never get out. But that's the end of chapter 270. Onwards to chapter 271. Pirate Zoro versus Vassal Ohm. Oh, I see. Well, it must have been rough getting eaten by a snake.
I'm telling you, you're inside it too! We're inside the snake's belly! Don't pull on my skin, not the skin!
I thought about it. Nah, you're right. He needs it, but But if I was a skilled swordsman, you would love to beat someone in your skills and will. So yes, I hate to have a devil fruit power. See? Kyushu knows what he's talking about when it comes to reasoning. Characters do not need this type of power. Not devil fruit power. Because too many handicaps. If you get hit with Sea Prism Stone at all, you're weakened. You're weakened just instantly, and that's how it works. And I feel like Zoro would not have an impairment of that kind, so he's not weakened by anything whatsoever. So of course he's not going to eat a devil fruit.
Don't pull on my skin, not the skin! Just like Usopp.
So you're the captain. These must be desperate times.
You must be dense if you didn't know you've been eaten. Blow.
What? This is the giant serpent's belly? I got eaten too?
That's what we've been saying. Your clothes are half digested.
It's true, huh? Okay, let's find the exit hole.
You want to get out that way?
Well, we were eaten. We'd pop right out we were eaten. We'd pop right out its rear end.
No way! I'd rather be digested.
Blue sea women are barbaric.
Nami, you're scaring us.
The snake ate us because he was provoked. Let's get out of here before it happens again.
And then it cuts if they finally realize. Ganfor, Nami, and Isa realize the reason why the snake's been acting this way.
Luffy, were you kicking and screaming the whole time?
Yeah, I tried to break out of here. I'm so hungry. Got anything to eat? What?
You dimwit!
And then there's a massive boom sound as Nami beats up Luffy. And then the snake just starts coiling on itself as it's feeling all this pain of Nami beating up on Luffy. And then they all start tumbling inside of the snake because it keeps recoiling everywhere. And the snake itself is like tearing up and it starts roaring.
It's moaning like mad, just as I hoped. Don't fall into the stomach acid, Isa.
I'll cut its belly open right now! As Wiper creates a milky road for himself and he starts skating on it. And then he sails over the snake and aims his gun at it and singes the tongue of the snake. And then he prepares to load his gun again as the snake lunges at him. Then there's a boom sound as we cut back to Zoro, who's facing off against Ohm.
This is tough. That extending sword is a problem. But first I have to take care of the snake. Well, they were swallowed whole. I doubt they died right away.
Eisen Whip. Here it comes!
And then we get the name of the attack that Ohm has been using this time. It's called Eisen Whip. Not Eisen from Bleach. Eisen. E-I-S-E-N. Eisen.
Eisen Whip.
And it whips right next to Zoro, behind him, and he dodges out of the way.
What's going on? How can it know where I am? It's as if he can pinpoint where I am from behind the wall. Sunglasses and horns. Who is this guy?
Bah! Take this, blue sea man!
Look, you're in my way!
And then Zoro just hits the guy directly in the... He punches the guy. Doesn't even slash him. He just punches the guy and sends him flying as if he's nothing. Because a lot of them are.
Another voice just disappeared from the top-tier ruins. 5 people and 2 animals remain. Wait.
Eisen Whip!
And then it cuts to him whipping directly in front of him.
Take that, Ohm!
Make that 4 people and 2 animals.
As his Eisen Whip goes and takes out one of the last people that's up here in the top tier ruins, one of the Shandian warriors, and he gets cut down immediately.
2-sword style. Hawk. Wave!
Eisen back. And before Zoro can do anything, he runs headfirst into this large iron cloud wall that Ohm has created.
Eisen back. What was that? An iron wall?
This sword is Iron Cloud. Do you think clouds always stay the same shape?
Yes, because remember when they were traveling and Nami was sick and Zoro was left in charge of navigating, he says like, yeah, we're going in the right direction. I just kept following that cloud, not paying attention to the fact that clouds move and they change shape. Same principle here.
Do you think clouds always stay the same shape?
And then Zoro drops to his knees, but then he skids backwards.
Ugh, why you? Eisenfan!
And then his sword just opens up into this large, wide blade-like shape, and Zoro gets nicked just a little bit.
Fork! Flail!
And it changes into a fork that tries to stab Zoro, and then it changes into a flail that hits Zoro in his side.
No good. Why can't I avoid his attacks? Can he read my moves?
There's no way you'll win if you keep your distance.
That's not true. 36-pound Phoenix!
Eisenwhip! And it cuts to the flying slash that Zoro shoots off, and it bounces off of the Eisenwhip.
It bounced off?
And the area right next to Zoro implodes from the force of Ohm's Eisenwhip. And it cuts to Zoro running away.
Blue Sea person, you've got some interesting moves, but will you keep using the same ones? Even if you lose sight of me, I can tell exactly where you are from your mantra.
And then Zoro drops his goggles. Then it cuts to the snake. And then it cuts to Holly that's basically beaten another member of the Shandian warriors.
Another voice has vanished. Now 3 people are left, and 2 animals.
So, the 3 people he's mentioning, the only people that are left is Wiper, Ohm himself, and Zoro. The 2 animals, Holly, and the snake. Because they're the only ones.
Soon, it will be 2 people and 2 animals.
As it shows Ohm standing directly in front of Zoro in one big panel. It's not a double panel, but it's a big panel that takes over the right page.
You must be in charge of the Blue Sea people. You and your companions have done well, but I've already set my target on your heart. Pray to the Kami, swordsman of the Blue Sea.
Idiot. I will never pray to the Kami.
Pity. Well, do as you like.
I can't see where you are, but that sword of yours tells me where you're hiding.
The moment you figure it out is the moment you die.
First, 36-pound. Second, 72-pound. Third, 108-pound. 3-sword style. Third, 108-pound.
And it shows Zoro gearing up his swords behind him.
3-sword style, 108-pound Phoenix!
And it shows this bigger, much more powerful slash heading directly towards Ohm through a solid wall in between them. Don't even say it, Kohagen. You say pound. It's not 108 kilogram Phoenix. It's 108 pound Phoenix. You can do nothing about it. You can do nothing about it. I already see you typing. It's not kilograms. It's pound. It will forever be pound. You can do nothing about it. It will not change.
108-pound Phoenix!
And this much more powerful, larger slash goes sailing towards Ohm.
He deflected an iron cloud?
Because it also deflects his iron cloud, slices it apart, and Ohm gets hit directly with this brand new long-range attack from Zoro. And that is the end of Chapter 271. We got an SBS, and then we can move on to Chapter 272. Reader, using the pronunciation that Sanji uses to say Nami-san in the One Piece anime series, try saying Nomi-san. They should sound exactly the same. Try it with your friends. Me, Nomi-san! What did I just say? Friend, Nami-san. Me, nope. The correct answer is Nomi-san. One person says either Nami-san or Nomi-san to the other person. The other person guesses which it was. This continues forever. Just kidding. Sasuke. Oda. Okay, thank you, Sasuke. You keep that up forever. Question. In Volume 27, Chapter 251, page 91, when Usopp says Kaching, doesn't he pose like Kamen Rider? How much do you like Kamen Rider, Oda-sensei? Pen name, Yo-chan Takoyaki. Answer, have you seen this? Have you seen this? I used to watch Kamen Rider on TV a long time ago. The original story was based on a manga by Shotaro Ishinomori. He has since passed away. The sketch shows a simplified way of drawing the face of the Japanese superhero Kamen Rider. First, start with a symbol for nude, and add other elements to create the face. So yeah, Kamen Rider's face is basically a much more stylized version of the word noon in Japanese. If you draw the eyes and the circular head around the mouth, because that's basically how it is. Question: if Zoro and Sanji went head to head in all seriousness, who would be strongest? Since Zoro defeated Mr. One, does that mean Zoro's stronger? Answer: whoa, that's a surprise. I thought you were asking me who would win if Zoro and Sanji compared their manliness. Watch how you phrase your sentences. Let's meet again in the next volume. Why would you think that, Oda? Okay. Chapter 272, Play. Chapter title page series 6, Catch the Thief That Didn't Pay the Tab. And it's just someone running in the distance. They got a hat on. Is that Ace? That might be Ace. Because this is not the first time he ran away without paying his tab. I wonder, would Virgil respect Zoro's swordsmanship? Probably. But as far as, acknowledging that Zoro is stronger or weaker than him, or Zoro acknowledging that Virgil's strong, it might be a bit of a toss-up. Because they've shown to be inhumanly strong, but one dude is superhuman and the other one is literally has the title of the Alpha and the Omega. So, when it comes to Virgil though, Virgil is like, I'm gonna have to think about this. We'll talk about it when I play Lies of P. We'll talk about it later, Psycho. But we cut to Shandora with Robin, and she's going down and looking at this place, and she comes across a place that has writing on it.
Can it be? The words that are casually written here, they're the same script as those on the poneglyph. The only people who knew how to use these symbols were the ones who created the poneglyphs. Hold the truth in your heart. Keep your mouth silent. We are the ones who weave history with the reverberations of the great bell. Yes, I remember reading that a huge solid gold bell is here. It was in Nolan's papers. The town's books were all burned, and the city's history was erased. The poneglyph was brought to this city. There's no doubt. This city fought against the enemy. The golden city of Shandora was ruined in the service of protecting the poneglyph.
And then it cuts to Robin, who walks towards where the giant jack is.
The great bell hangs in the center of the 4 altars. It's gone. If the poneglyph was with the great bell, there's no hope of finding it here. Even at the height of its prosperity, the city tried to protect its history. What happened to the world in that distant past?
And then Robin is looking, and she notices that there used to be like old cart tracks in this area.
Could these be old cart tracks? Something was moved from here recently.
Yeah. Impressive, isn't it?
And Eneru's there with Robin.
A city that continues to exist in such glory, even in the sky. Shandora. The legendary capital can't be admired if it's covered in clouds. I discovered it. My idiotic predecessors didn't even notice it.
Who are you?
I am the Kami.
Or, if you're going by the anime, I am God.
I'm impressed. You must be an archaeologist from the Blue Sea. It took us several months to find these ruins. It's so much easier to find when you can read the symbols.
And then Eneru's just eating an apple.
But the gold you're looking for isn't here. You're a few years too late.
Come to think of it, I haven't seen any gold. You must have carried it away.
It is a fine thing. The glittering gold suits me.
Was that also true for the golden bell that was here?
The golden bell?
He doesn't know about it.
And then Eneru just continues to munch on his apple.
I'm intrigued. You've read the symbols. What did you learn?
Oh, that's too bad. If the Great Bell and its tower, the Pride of Shandora, weren't here when you arrived, then they must not have made it up here. I wanted to see the tower.
No, wait. The bell is here. It's here. It came to the sky. 400 years ago, when Upper Yard was born. In other words, when this island came flying up here, legend tells of a great bell ringing in the sky. The elders call it the island's singing voice. So the bell was made of solid gold. This is wonderful. The game will be over soon. Only 8 minutes remain. I might as well search the entire country while I'm at it. Yeah.
The golden bell was in the sky? So the poneglyph, the golden bell was in the sky? So the poneglyph might be here too.
I sense a maggot on the edge of the island.
What?
And it then cuts to the music all the way on the Mary, just still blaring. It's like, we'll use this music to ward off enemies. So Lord, forgive them, for they know not what they do. But it cuts to Sue the fox going,
Sue! Sue!
What? What is it, Sue? Is it feeding time?
Sue!
Sue, what's wrong? Are you hurt? Huh?
and there's someone crawling and dragging themselves towards the edge of the forest.
Are you one of the Kami's warriors? Kami Eneru captured you, didn't he?
Yes, we were trapped for 6 years in that wretched prison.
What happened? Konus, we must treat him right away.
Yes, father.
Wait! I have a wife and child on Angel Island.
Yes, everyone is worried.
Please warn them. Eneru will destroy everything.
What?
He's going to crash Skypiea into the Blue Sea. This country is doomed.
What? That can't be.
There's no time left. Please, spread the word. Eneru will kill every last person in the sky.
That's his plan. He's not just done with the temple because he doesn't have any more use for it. He intends to kill everyone. Everyone.
Eneru will kill every last person in the sky.
Wait a minute. If he did that, he would destroy his own home.
He has an ark! The Ark Maxim! We were forced to work on the ark for 6 years!
And then, without a moment's hesitation, Pagaya shoves his daughter Konus away from the edge of the forest with extreme force as light envelops this imprisoned man and himself. And as Konus flies away, gets shoved even farther away from the edge, we can only see her scream out as a beam of light, a thin beam suddenly appears and then envelops both Pagaya and this man, with Konus screaming, "Father!" And then the entire area where Pagaya and this man were just gets enveloped in searing light. Then we cut back to the upper tier, the top tier clouds, as Zoro is standing there after having defeated Ohm. And then we cut to Holly, who's preparing to hit Zoro as he's sheathing his swords, and he goes,
Wait!
And then Holly just proceeds to sit down. Stay.
Do you obey just anyone?
Bang your head and pass out.
Bang your head and pass out. And Holly basically just obeyed this command and just banged his head until he passed out. So Ohm, another vassal, has been defeated, along with his dog.
Next up, the snake and the bazooka guy.
Sungo Smash!
And a big, searing, blinding light just erupts.
Sungo Smash!
A big searing light envelops the entire upper yard area. where Zoro's running towards, where Wiper's going towards, and where the snake is.
What the?
And both Zoro, Wiper, and the snake can only look on in shock as the entire area gets enveloped in lightning. The whole lower half of the beanstalk up to that area where they're all fighting gets enveloped in lightning. And from this lightning appears Eneru.
What have you done? He has Logia powers?
Yeah! I invited them, your friends. I brought them to Shandora. So it turns out that Eneru was... He didn't leave. He didn't leave, Robin. He just blasted upwards through the ground where Robin and he were, causing a hole to appear right down from, the big field of clouds that was super thick that Robin had to get through, all the way up to the upper yard, basically blasting that whole area all up top. I invited your friends. I brought them to Shandora. The ground is caving in, goes Zoro.
It's Eneru. No one else has the power to do this. The ruins are falling.
And then it cuts to Zoro, who's holding on to Chopper as everything is falling through.
Huh? Holes are opening up under us.
And then they're all just falling through the hole.
Please, watch them, Sue.
And then it cuts to when Kana speaks to Sue to watch over both Sanji and Usopp.
Sue! This isn't the time to cry. I have to warn them, everyone on the island.
Yeah! Let's move on to the finale. And that is the end of chapter 272, onwards to chapter 273. We got 2 more chapters after this one, and then we can call this reading to a close. Chapter 273, Quintet. Ace's Great Search for Blackbeard, Volume 2. Sorry about the dine and dash, as it's just like I confirmed, it's Ace running from another dine and dash again as he's apparently searching for Blackbeard. But there's an explosion as everyone who was up on the upper grounds falls down to Shandora down below. And then it cuts to the inside of the snake with Nami and company.
I'm flying away.
When is this going to end?
And then Luffy is holding on to Isa.
Hang on to the waver. I'm kicking on the power.
Hey, you, hold on to me.
Here we go.
Yeah, we're finally getting out.
Oh, wait! You're holding on to the exhaust pipe!
And as Nami and Ganfor take off with extreme speed, Isa and Luffy get blasted by the exhaust pipe in the process.
What? What on earth? Pierre, go back. We must save those two.
No!
And then it cuts to Ganfor as he starts to fall from Pierre as they sail out of their mouth with Nami's falling out of the mouth of the snake. Now, mind you, Luffy and Isa are still inside.
What? It hasn't landed?
Yes, this is quite a steep drop. Pierre, don't worry about us. Go after the two inside.
And then it just shows numerous panels as the ruins just fall down to the city of Shandora down below. And then it stops with Robin.
Are they the ruins? Why such huge pieces from above?
Ugh.
Swordsman, did you come down with the ruins?
She doesn't call him Zoro yet.
I nearly died.
As it shows Zoro picking up this massive piece of a building, just pushing it off of pure stone, mind you. This isn't like the buildings that he threw at Mr. One before. That was just a chunk. But this is just like a big, giant slab of a building that he just pushes off of himself. Your boy Zoro is strong. Continuing,
I nearly died.
and he's still holding Chopper.
Yes, you would have died. if you were normal.
Oh, hey, it's you. Where am I?
It's your city of gold, but there's no gold here.
What?
Then it cuts to the snake that finds its way outside of the rubble. And because it has its head stuck through a hole in the clouds, and then it pulls it up. And then it cuts back to Luffy and Isa, who are still stuck inside the snake.
Bleh.
Ugh, he really put up a fight.
Are you stupid?
Back where we started.
Everyone else got out. We got left behind.
Looks that way. Well, we can just go poof out the back end.
I told you no way. Blah.
Oh, the horse.
It's a bird.
Because Pierre is still in there with them, trying to get them out. Then we get some huffing and puffing from everybody else.
Ow. Thank you, Weird Knight. Good thing we landed on the clouds. Where are we? Isa and Luffy got left behind.
Have faith in Pierre. That bird will get the job done. Sometimes as a horse.
But this place is so unfamiliar. Where is this?
Then it cuts to Wiper, who's just standing there, awestruck.
Could this be our homeland?
And then it cuts to the snake, who's just up, and it's looking around. It's just looking around everywhere, confused.
The giant serpent is acting weird. It's like it's looking for something. Is Luffy up to something in there? Hey, Weird Knight!
We're underground. I didn't know there was such a place in Upper Yard.
And then the snake is just looking around everywhere, and it's just looking everywhere, and then it starts tearing up.
It's crying.
What is the meaning of this? What are you fussing about, ruler of the sky? You annoying little snake!
As Eneru sends a massive shock in front of the snake. A massive bolt in front of the snake, like this orb. Sends this orb in front of the snake, high above it. And then it gets brighter and brighter.
How idiotic. Thor!
And the whole area just erupts in like a beam of lightning. Kind of akin to what we see happen to individuals who rebel against Eneru. So it's like tons of Thors have been used throughout this entire series. But the snake gets engulfed in lightning.
Oh.
Isa!
Oh no, Nami!
Huh? Zoro? Robin too!
You're here? How did you escape?
Why's the navigator here?
Well, I'm okay, but inside that thing is Luffy.
What? What's he doing in there?
Why's he like this?
How would I
know? He was there.
And it cuts to the snake that just falls after being massively electrocuted. Then it cuts to Wiper. I couldn't wound the ruler of the sky with multiple bazooka shots, yet in one attack, that means Isa's. And before Wiper can say anything, he looks behind him and sees that Eneru is behind him, and he immediately opened fire, screaming, "Eneru!" And Eneru just dodges.
Whoa! Balloon cloud.
And then Eneru just hops on top of this floating ball cloud. Why did I say balloon cloud?
Ball cloud.
And he just sits on top of this floating ball cloud. You know, the type that we would see with Satori earlier on.
Yeah! What an awful thing to do. And here I was nice enough to invite you to your homeland. Yeah. Stay a while. The game isn't over yet.
Game?
That's right. You and those behind you are players. It's just an amusement. It's been a silly little game. Starting from when you set foot on the island to 3 hours later. I wanted to see how many of the 81 people would remain. It's a survival game, me included. Some joined us halfway, but they were welcome too. I predicted there would be 5 survivors.
There are exactly 5. Good thing he hasn't noticed me.
3 minutes remain until the 3-hour limit is up. Which means I can't have 6 people left.
He knows I'm here!
The kami cannot make a false prophecy. Let's see, who shall disappear? Will you fight among yourselves, or shall I obliterate one of you?
And then Zoro, Robin, Ganfor, and Wiper don't say anything. And Zoro just goes,
How about you?
I'd rather not.
Me either.
I'll pass too. I absolutely refuse.
and then Nami, holding on to Chopper, just holds on to him as everyone looks back at her.
What? Hang on!
And then all 4, Robin, Zoro, Wiper, and Ganfor all point their weapons. Robin just points her hands towards Eneru going,
You're the one who should disappear. A bad choice.
and that's the end of chapter 273. Onwards to 274, Oratorio!
Are we the evil ones?
And we cut to back in the past when Ganfor used to be Kami of the Sky Islands, of Skypiea.
Please, Almighty, stop worrying about such things. The warriors will hear of it.
They just want their homeland back. But our prosperous life on Skypiea is only possible because 400 years ago, our ancestors took over Upper Yard.
Isn't it our duty to continue the battle to protect the prosperity of this land? We have negotiated as much as we can. There's no point in offering sympathy to those who don't accept.
400 years ago, it might have been us. It might have been them. To admit that one side lost too much time. To admit that one side lost too much time may already have passed.
And then we cut back to the people, like the different warriors going, Intruders!
Who are they? They're not Shandians. What's going on? Who are they?
He calls himself Kami Eneru.
Then we cut to Angel Beach, Angel Island on Skypiea.
See? It's this house. You know that pretty lady who plays her harp on the beach? Yes? Yes, I know her. Turns out that lady is bad. Her whole family is. Really? Yes. My father says they're very bad people who disobeyed the kami. That's right. They help the evil blue sea people.
Oh, this is present day because Canis has to warn everyone about the impending doom that's coming towards everyone on the Sky Islands.
Your father said so, huh? Oh, that's right. My father is in the kami's forces. He has served the kami all these years. Mother tells me he'll be back soon. I've never even met him.
I know who this dude's father is. This kid's father was the one that was with Pagaya before they were engulfed in burning lightning. He's also the person that was talking to Ganfor in the flashback I just went through. This kid said he's never met his dad. He's never going to. No. Oh no.
I've never even met him. But your father is a great man if he was chosen to serve the kami. I hope you get to meet him soon. Yes.
No. His father was the one trying to warn them that Eneru was gonna kill everybody. Yo, that's sad. Oda, I know you like to write sad moments, but to see these kids say like, I can't wait to see my dad. It's like, oh no, that's horrible. But it cuts to Canis, who's speeding her way towards the village.
He's going to crash Skypiea into the blue sea!
This country is doomed!
I won't let his last words be in vain. I swear to deliver his message.
Then it cuts to Shandora as Eneru's laughing at everyone. Yeah! You're telling me to disappear. And then Nami's just looking at him.
Uh-oh, he's dangerous.
No wonder you've survived the game thus far. But do you know who you're speaking to? It seems none of you understand the true meaning of the kami. Yeah? An old relic yearning for happiness in Skypiea.
Meaning Ganfor.
A warrior searching blindly for his homeland.
Wiper.
Blue sea pirates hunting for gold.
Robin and Zoro.
The world is full of problems. What my little lambs desire means nothing to me. There's something fundamentally wrong with this country.
Stop prattling about trivial things and tell us where the Kami's forces are. What are your intentions?
A happy return, Ganfor.
A happy return?
Yes, there's a place I must return to. On the island where I was born, people believe the kami resides there. They call it Endless Vars. The land there stretches out farther than the eye can see. That is the paradise I seek! A land that is worthy of me! It's pointless fighting over a speck of land like Upper Yard for years on end. Listen, the roots of your conflict are much deeper than you know. Think about it. You are not clouds, but you were born in the sky. You are not birds, but you live in the sky. The foundation of this country in the sky is unnatural. Land is the place for land. Humans have a place for humans, and the kami has a place for the kami. Each has a place to which it must return.
Do you mean that?
Nothing is impossible. As the kami, I am just following the laws of nature. That's how it should be. I will drag all humans down from the sky.
That's when his plan just gets spoken out loud.
What?
How? You're going to destroy the country!
That is only natural.
Don't overestimate yourself, Eneru. Kami is just a title for the governor of the country.
That was true until now.
This is a world of humans! There is no such thing as Kami!
Former Kami Ganfor. Yeah. You worry about the Kami's forces. 6 years ago, they lost to my army, and I've cared for them since. That is, 650 of your followers. Just this morning, they finished the task I assigned them, here on this very island. As I told you earlier, the only ones left on this island are these 6 people. What a pity.
You!
I didn't kill them because I wanted to. When I explained my plan to them, they became enraged and rebelled against me. Yeah!
They all have families on Angel Island.
True, but we'll be burying their families soon, too.
Are you the Lord of Evil?
Yeah.
And Ganfor says this as he launches at Eneru, and Eneru tosses his staff in the air, and then proceeds to just hold his fingers in between where Ganfor was aiming.
10 million. 20 million.
As electricity starts to build up between his fingers, and Ganfor can only think back to when Eneru and his vassals first showed up.
Lord Eneru, the old former kami. What shall we do with him?
Toss him into the sea. He won't be much use as labor. Yeah? This is quite a temple. What we need is the kami's forces. I'll make them work hard under my command.
Wait! They are my followers!
Silence! From now on, you are no longer the kami. Eso! Yeah!
As Ganfor is thrown from upper yard.
20 million volt Vari!
And Eneru unleashes a 20 million volt electrical attack against Ganfor aimed directly at his head. Like, I go back, and Ganfor is caught in, his face gets caught in this 20 million volt Vari instantly, with Nami screaming out,
Weird night!
Old man.
Zoro and Robin can only look on.
Ganfor, there is a god in this world.
I have failed.
Ganfor, there is a god in this world. It is I.
The devil fruit.
Probably the rumble fruit. Of the many powers, it's one of the few considered invincible. The power of lightning.
Lightning? No human could stand up to that.
Ravi, good to see you. We're almost near the end of this volume.
So, the time is up for my prophecy. And now we are 5. Yeah! I'm glad you survived. I will now depart for endless Vars, and I'll take you all with me. What? There I will create a godland. Those who live there will be the chosen few.
What is he talking about?
The survival game lasted but a few hours, yet they couldn't last. Followers like that would weaken my country if they came.
And what if we refuse?
Robin!
Refuse? Why would you? I've decided. If you stay, you'll simply fall to the ground with this country.
It's true your powers could make that happen. But if you destroy this country, won't you be destroying the things you want? Like the Golden Bell.
Like the Golden Bell, you mean? Yeah! Don't worry, I already have an idea of where it is. When I think back to your actions, I see there's only one possible place.
What?
The gold!
The Golden Bell.
We are probably thinking of the same place. You look surprised. Did you think you could trick me with that maneuver? Don't underestimate me. You are shallow.
As Eneru points his finger at Robin as his hand starts to charge with lightning.
Robin!
I despise conniving women.
And then Robin is just hit directly with lightning from Eneru. She is just hit instantly. And that is the end of chapter 274. Onwards to chapter 275 in the final chapter of this volume, Divina Commedia. Divina Commedia. Am I saying that right? Divina Commedia. Divina Commedia. I'm just going to say it as I see it. Deal with it. Ace's Great Search for Blackbeard, Volume 3. Gathering information. And it cuts to Ace, who's asking around about where Blackbeard is, while the dude that he dined and dashed from is still chasing after him. But it cuts to after Eneru fried Robin, and she starts to drop to her knees, shocking everyone, especially Zoro and Nami.
No!
But before Robin can fall hard to the ground, Zoro comes up and catches her.
She's a woman. I know. I saw.
And then Zoro starts rushing towards Eneru, and Eneru spins his staff around and clashes with Zoro.
You have skill. Are you out of your mind?
And it cuts to Wiper, who's just watching this, and then Zoro tries to hit Eneru, and Eneru just flips over him. And then, while Eneru's in the air, Wiper takes that time to try and shoot Eneru with
Burn Bazooka!
Yeah. Kari Crash!
as there's this big, like, what is Cardi Crash? Hold on, I don't even know what this attack is. Hold on, I'm looking this up. It's called the Goro Goro no Mi. What is Cardi Crash? I forgot what this attack did especially. I forgot what it did. Kadi crash, Kadi crash, Kadi crash. There it is. All right. A technique where Eneru unleashes a blinding, full-body burst of electricity to superheat the air around him, making it expand at the speed of sound and creating a thunderclap. The thunderclap. This, in turn, allows Eneru to neutralize non-material attacks directed at him. Okay, so Kari Crash is basically him electrifying the area around him, pretty much nullifying the entire burn bazooka from Wiper. Kari Crash! And it's just blinding light, and Eneru just dispels the blast from the bazooka. Yeah!
It can't be. He stopped the bazooka flame?
You still don't understand. The energy you possess is nothing compared to mine.
I heard thunder. The air must have expanded at the speed of light. It was that hot. The scale of his energy is on another level. He really is lightning itself.
Well, as I told you, we'll now be shipping out to Endless Farce together. There's no need to behave so murderously.
Who said...
And then it cuts to Zoro.
Who said we'd go with you?
And who cares about your world of dreams?
Yeah. As he flips in the air while Zoro rushes him. And then Nami screams out,
No, don't do it, Zoro. He's too strong.
I'll have to teach your body a lesson about the Kami's rules.
And Zoro slashes through Eneru, but nothing happens.
However much you struggle, you won't be able to fight me. In the face of overwhelming power, one can feel utter desperation.
And then Eneru grabs hold of both of Zoro's swords.
Huh? Having all of your hopes shattered is not unlike death.
And in that process, he's holding onto Zoro's swords and then proceeds to electrocute Zoro.
Zoro!
For humans, death is their ultimate fear. That is why people bow their heads to the ground and beg for the Kami's mercy.
He says this while Zoro's is like knees on the ground. He stomps on Zoro's head and forces it to ground.
It can't be helped. Creatures are made to bow down in the face of terror. That's instinct.
Ugh, what is he? He's so strong.
And then the bazooka of Wiper drops down.
Huh?
And Wiper latches onto Eneru.
What are you doing? Did you come to be killed?
And then Wiper is just staring at him as Wiper is like he's got his legs locked around Eneru to keep from being pushed off.
What? What is it?
Do you know what a sea prism is, Eneru?
Sea prism?
Sea prism? It's a stone that sucks the power of those with devil fruit powers. My shooter has one in it. The powerful can be vulnerable.
As it cuts to Eneru realizing that he can't fully move because whatever Wiper has Sea Prism and it's keeping him from turning into lightning. And then Zoro rolls away, knowing what's about to happen.
My shooter has one in it. The powerful can be so vulnerable.
And then Eneru starts staggering a little bit.
It's true. I can't summon my powers.
And Zoro just watches on.
Die!
Stop it. It's the rejectile, isn't it? It will kill you too. What is your objection? Don't you want Endless Farce too?
Shut up. I'm happy to die if I can take you with me. Stop! Reject!
And then Wiper hits Eneru full force with this rejectile that also has Sea Prism, so Eneru is unable to dissipate into lightning, and he takes the full brunt of this attack, causing him to cough up blood. And there's a massive explosion from the point of that impact.
Hold the truth in your heart. Keep your mouth silent. We are the ones who weave history.
A person says as we cut to the defeated Kamakiri, Genbo, Brahm, and Rocky.
The poneglyph?
It goes back 800 years. The warriors,
because we cut to a flashback now.
The warriors of Shandora and those who sought to claim the stone fought in battle.
Did we win?
Yes, we won. But survivors were few, and the sacrifices too many.
The sacrifices that they mention also happened to be the heads that were in that open field area that Usopp, Sanji, and Luffy went through before everything major went down. Those are the people who fought back during those times.
The survivors of that battle became the silent protectors of the great poneglyph in the city's ruins.
So they are our protectors.
And it cuts to Rocky as a child listening in on this conversation. And it cuts to a young Wiper, Genbo, Braum, and Kamakiri when they were kids.
But 400 years ago, the island flew up to Skypiea. It was climbed by the people of that land. Our ancestors gave so much to protect it. It was taken from us.
Upper Yard is our homeland. It also bears the great history of a land in the shadow of darkness. Even though we're now in the sky, we must not let the magnificent light of Shandora be extinguished. Bring back the light of Shandora.
And these words echo going back to the present time when these Shandoran, these Shandian dudes who were kids were grown up, rushing towards the forest. And then we cut back. Then we cut back to the present day as we see Nami, Zoro, Eneru laying on the ground, bleeding from the mouth, not moving.
It can't be. Did you defeat him?
And it shows the trembling hand, bandaged hand of Wiper as he stands over Eneru, who's still not moving.
Robin! Weird night!
Then we cut to Eneru, whose body suddenly surges with electricity. Then it happens again. And again. As if his heart is being jump-started. Every time his heart beats, it cuts to Nami. Heartbeat. Zoro. Heartbeat. Wiper. Then it surges with lightning. And then his heart starts fully beating. Boom, boom.
He's massaging his own heart.
And then Eneru gets up. So, here's the thing. What Wiper did to Eneru, this man basically stopped Eneru. He almost killed him. Stopped his heart even. But Eneru, with his power, was able to jumpstart his heart. Like Ozzy says, he's a human defibrillator. He basically just jump-started his heart again. And then Eneru gets up, body surging with lightning, as he goes, "People do not fear the kami. Fear is the kami." As he wipes the blood from his lip, ending chapter 275. As we end the final volume in the 20s. Next, which will be tomorrow, we are done with volume 29. Tomorrow, we now start the volumes in the 30s. I'm getting closer to the halfway mark. When we get to volume 40, that's when I'm halfway done with reading these volumes. When we get to 40, that's when we're halfway done. But tomorrow, we start volume 30. Now, I intend to get my hair cut. So I stopped this at 2. So I want to do my reaction and read through of the next volume tomorrow at an earlier time, which will be at 10 instead of 12. So that way I can get through it, get my hair cut, and do everything that I got to do because this has been growing way too much. I got to get it cut off. But we'll be starting a little bit earlier tomorrow, so that way I can take care of the things that I need to take care of. But this was another fantastic read. Every one of the vassals of Eneru has been defeated. The only ones who are left standing now are Eneru, Wiper, Zoro, and Nami. Robin is pretty much down for the count at the moment because she's been electrocuted. And Eneru, who was once down for the count for a split second, jump-started his own heart, and now he's back up. So now it's like, okay, you inflicted harm on me. Now I'm going to inflict harm on you. So it's going to be interesting for me, because I know a lot of you know of this story all the way through by heart. But for me to see these pages and see this story happen in front of me, I can't wait to read it. Everyone, Ozzy, Ravi, Psycho, Cohagen, Cdes, everyone who showed up today, and even if I have some new people who are here in chat today, all I can say is that I had such an immensely fun time reading through this volume. Later on today, we will be messing with that Lies of P demo, so I'm going to be preparing for that, but I got to get myself some food after this. So to everyone, it is an immense honor and privilege to be your entertainer. All I can say to you at the end of the day is, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. And if you're new to the channel, well, if you enjoyed what you saw here today, I gotta stop saying new to the channel because you guys already know the obvious. If you enjoyed what you saw here today, then like, subscribe, share this stream with everyone you know, because the more the merrier. And maybe even consider becoming a member, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day. And once again, as always, later, peoples.